Hey guys, it's Joe and Savannah with the Relationship Society, and we are going to be talking today about a topic that I think is one of the most important things that we can really bring into our relationship, and that's the issue and the topic around trust. And what does it really mean to have trust, and what is trust in the first place? Trust is the ancient word for trust, and it's interesting that the word actually means to be careless, to be reckless. I thought that was kind of interesting that a word like trust is really about, can I be reckless with you and be careless? Not that I'm being abusive or careless with your feelings or thoughts. It just means, can I lean into you and trust that you're going to be there for me no matter what? And so the idea of trust being the basis of all of our relationship is on that fiduciary relationship, the fiducial trust that we can have with one another. And as easy as, because one of the things we talk about, Savannah and I talk about, is that trust is something that is earned over time and experience. And one of the things that can be really, a lot of us, we go into and we jump into relationships giving people trust, and then all of a sudden we get injured or wounded, and then there's a betrayal of trust, and because part of it is we kind of just given that trust away, and it came cheaply, and it really didn't come over time and experience with somebody, right? So part of this is really, how do we build, how are we trustworthy in our relationships, and how do we have trust, and then what do we do when there has been a betrayal of trust? Recently, one of my good friends, we had several conversations, and I'm just going to talk authentically about myself, where I had been betraying a real basic trust in our relationship. And it had occurred 3 or 4 times in our conversations. And, and generally in our relationships, what we do is we kind of just shut down, cut off, and run away and hide and not really confront or lean into that relationship. But I was really grateful for this friend who was able to lean in to the negative and truth me and talk about what was going on for them and how I was occurring to them, and so it took a real vulnerable position. So with trust, the important thing about trust is that, one, the key ingredients around creating, and we're going to talk about this in another episode about creating a safe haven relationship and being safe with other people, but trust is, there's a sense of predictability. There's a sense of, are you there for me? Can I count on you? Or what are you going to do with the information or the words or my feelings? What are you going to do? So trust, again, is one of those things where it really is about, can I be careless and reckless with you? So my good friend, who had started to, they were bringing up some of the things and how I was occurring to them, and was really honest with me about that. So as a trustworthy friend, what we had to do is to really lean in and understand and validate and really make sure that we got that, and that we begin to create steps and a pathway back to repairing that trust, where I could be predictable, where that person could really count on me, that they could trust that that friendship was not going to be betrayed. Now, anytime we break trust, of course, we always want to be taken, we want to be, understood, we want to be validated, we don't want to be misbetrayed, we want our feelings to be heard, and all those things. But part of that is taking ownership of where that betrayal of trust was broken, and to begin to repair that trust. And sometimes that's going to take, whenever we betray a trust, there is no instant relationship. There is no such thing as, you have trust and then you say you're sorry and then the trust is repaired. It's going to take some time for you to repair that trust. It may take a couple of weeks, it could take a year. If there's an affair, if there's any type of infidelity, if there's a real betrayal of a basic trust, that trust muscle, then it could take some time for that trust to reoccur, and really owning how that trust is there. So part of that is, one, being trustworthy. The other part of it is, because that trust is also something that's learned, and sometimes trust is, we learn trust or mistrust from our childhood or from other, or maybe we weren't able to set good healthy boundaries or set limits, we weren't able to say no to people in our life, and we kind of learn not to even to be able to trust ourselves. And so there's just been this, maybe a lack of being able to set boundaries or have limits. And so part of that is our own trust muscle gets broken. And we don't really know how to begin to trust those people around us. The whole world occurs to you as being mistrusting. And, it's kind of like you're walking down this long dark tunnel, and it's hard to know if that light at the end of the tunnel, is that love and connection, and is it trustworthy, or is that a train? I have no idea, because in my past, every time I moved down that dark tunnel, that light at the end of the tunnel wasn't love or connection or safety or anything healthy. It was destructive. It was going to annihilate me, and it would be a train. So part of that trust muscle is learning to move beyond some of those limits and really getting in there with safe 911 friends to really connect and to find those people in your life that can be trustworthy with your feelings and your thoughts and your emotions, and being able to move down that track and to really create those types of connections. So, and the next segment we're going to talk about is, how do we create that safety to have trust, but then how do we also bring in a level of vulnerability, because that's going to mean something else. Because we're here, life's about connections, it's about relationships, that's why we're here. And that's what brings meaning and purpose to our lives, and that's what brings healing and all sorts of good stuff to us. But when we cut off some of the loving and connecting things, it can create other problems in relationships. So, as we talk about trust, we're going to be also talking about being trustworthy, creating safety, and having more of that vulnerability in our relationships. So, look forward to connecting with you guys. This is my little takeaway on trust and being trustworthy, and we're going to talk about rebuilding trust in our relationships and what that's going to mean. So, look forward to seeing you next time. Make this your best day as we get it together.